Do you think that the penalty that was given to Brighton against against Arsenal, do you think that that penalty was a penalty? I'll leave you with that question. Now let's talk about the whole game. If Arsenal, or if someone had told me that Arsenal will rely on a 17-year-old boy to be able to replace Saka, I wouldn't have believed it. If someone had told me that they would rely on a 17-year-old boy to be able to replace Saka, I wouldn't have believed it, seriously. Yes, there's a reason why I repeated it. Against Brighton, Arsenal definitely relied on Nwaneri. That Nwaneri is so good. So good. So good with his game. He keeps the game simple. He doesn't complicate his game. He doesn't try to do too much. He plays the passes when he's supposed to play it. He dribbles when he's supposed to dribble. You know, he goes for the goal. In fact, going for the kill when he's supposed to do it. So that boy is an amazing talent. An amazing talent. Look at when he was substituted. Immediately he was substituted and Martinelli was brought in. That wing died. In fact, there was no creativity. At that point, creativity was lacking in that position. Martinelli, in terms of his positioning, in terms of his dribbling, the point that he even had to, he keeps his face on the ground whenever he's playing. So you can actually decipher what Martinelli is going to do or the kind of thing he's going. That guy sometimes is inconsistent. Nwaneri, a 17-year-old boy, was able to play like Saka. Yes, you can tell me that he's not going to, take away Saka from the team, but give it time. Give it time, and Saka's position in that team is going to be threatened. Except if Mikel Arteta is going to find another position for Nwaneri. But it's just a matter of time before that guy start playing first team football. Against Brighton, he was spot on. In his first half, the first half that he spent in that game, it was so amazing. He played so well, for a 17-year-old boy. In fact, the last time I saw that kind of play was Lamine Yamal, of Barcelona. But these days, Nwaneri is so good. I think this is the second Premier League start, and he scored again. So I don't know, but that guy is so amazing right now for Arsenal. So amazing. I believe that Arsenal was going to win that game against Brighton because of what is at stake. Liverpool is going to play Manchester United. Arsenal needs the point to close the gap on Liverpool, mount pressure on Liverpool, for Liverpool to fall away by the roadside. I also believe that this season is going to be Arsenal season. But with what they played against Brighton, it was as if Arsenal scored the first goal and just relaxed. They relaxed as if nothing is going to happen. Maybe they were relying on their defense to be able to shield them and get them over the line. But Brighton will come at you with everything they have. So we saw it happen time and time again. In fact, at a point, it was as if Arsenal was begging for a draw. Arsenal was begging for a draw because if you see the chances that Brighton kept on missing, even when Mitoma was brought on into the game, the chances they were missing was like, oh, is Arsenal going to even survive this? And this was almost what played out in the first leg. Seriously, that was what played out at the Emirates Stadium. Yes, the shenanigans and the issues surrounding the officiating and all of those things. But then, Arsenal is supposed to be winning games like this. If you are to win the Premier League is not going to be handed over to you just like that. It's not going to be handed over to you. So you're supposed to be winning games like Brighton. And then I saw Mikel Arteta's press conference and his interview where he was blaming the 1-1 draw on the penalty that was given to Brighton. Come on, Mikel, this is a penalty. It's a penalty. Saliba had to head that boy. It's a penalty. Because if it was Arsenal that was supposed to be given that penalty, Mikel wouldn't complain. Arteta will not complain. So, but I can understand that Arteta's feeling, yeah, someone has to take the blame at the end of the day. Man, blame the 1-1 draw on Arsenal players because they scored the goal. They went back and relaxed. That penalty was absolutely spot on. It was a penalty, honestly. I watched it time and time again. There was no need for review, but even at that, the review was done and it was simply a penalty. The penalty was played by Pedro and you went in. Now, that penalty was scored, I think, it was, around the 70th minute or so. Arsenal had 20 minutes plus extra time to get the win. But even at that, Arsenal was still defending. It tells you that Brighton played Arsenal so well. In the second half, it was a different kettle of fish. In the first half, Arsenal played their game, tactically they were spot on, they controlled the game, controlled the pace of the game. Remember, even without Martin Odegaard in the first half, they were able to control the game. But then, Jorginho should leave Arsenal this January. He should leave. It's not going to guarantee you anything. He should leave. We felt the impact of Martin Odegaard in that game. The fact that he was not there in the first half. But even at that, Arsenal still controlled the game. Now, why is it that in the second half, when Odegaard was introduced into the game, Arsenal couldn't even create clear-cut chances? They couldn't create. So it tells you what Arsenal were doing on the night. Brighton implemented their game plan. That they did everything right. The only thing that Brighton couldn't do was they were so wasteful in front of goal. They were so wasteful in front of goal. They couldn't score. They couldn't get the all-important goal that would guarantee them the win. So they kept on missing these chances, which sometimes, in fact, brought Arsenal back into the game. When Arsenal had the opportunity, they couldn't create anything concrete. Honestly, they couldn't. But then that is for Arsenal. I believe Arsenal is going to go all the way this season in terms of winning the Premier League. But drawing against Brighton feels like losing. And drawing against teams like Brighton when you're supposed to pick up points on a weekend that Liverpool is going to be playing Manchester United, which you don't know what the outcome is going to be, and you are drawing against Brighton, it tells you that the league is running away from Arsenal. Seriously. Except for some miracle, if Liverpool loses form, maybe they lose a couple of players to injuries, maybe. But this maybe is a very big maybe. Arsenal, put your house in order. Seriously, put your house in order. But then it was an interesting game. Like I predicted, it was going to be a festival of attacking football, from both sides. Arsenal did that, Brighton did this. It was an amazing game. But congratulations to Nwaneri, what he's doing right now. The Nigerian NFF should please bring this boy to the Super Eagles. Bring him to the Super Eagles, I beg. Bring him to the Super Eagles. Once again, I encourage you to follow Felix Football Exclusive, like my videos, share it, repost it, meet me at the comment section, share your thoughts and your perspective. Let's see what you think about football and football related issues. Thank you.